Thank you. Guys, I'd like to introduce an amazing guy, Tobias Meyer, who I've known for some years now. And I'm really excited because to speak to this gentleman reminds me of where my journey started in getting started in African fashion. I initially looked at the cotton industry. I looked at the umbrella countries and companies who were doing things in Africa, if it was the Swiss or if it was the Belgians or the Germans or whoever it was that just had programs in Africa to develop the cotton industry. And as we know, cotton as a raw material can provide amazing opportunities within agriculture, within textiles. And this is what made me very interested, as cotton is a very good opportunity for development as well, and for business and trade. So I was learning a lot about it. One of the people that I came across over the years was this gentleman, Tobias Meyer, and I really wanted to have him on board for these Fashion Africa Voices conversations, where I'm really bringing in people who are doing work on the ground in Africa and can share their stories, so that others can learn a bit more about it. So Tobias, I want to thank you once more for joining me. And yeah, there's just, for those who don't know about you, you as a man, you as an expert in your field, tell us about who you are, the kind of work that you do yourself. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm also honored to be able to exchange with you. And I think we have quite a similar vision for Africa, for textile industry, for fashion. And we see a huge potential together for cotton growers and others involved. So about my background, I'm involved in textile, in sustainable textiles since now 25 years already. I have been working for more than 20 years for Helvetas, that's a leading Swiss development agency. And there we sold handicraft from Africa and textiles out of organic cotton. And then I tried to link it with the project we had at Helvetas in Africa. And so we started in 2000 to work with organic cotton small farmers in Mali. And then a year later in Burkina Faso, then Senegal, Benin, Madagascar, and then going also to Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. And so then we started this program. I looked for brands, retailers that commit themselves to use the African cotton. And so then we also used the cotton for our assortments, for t-shirts, for towels and other things. And we also worked with local handicraft people to produce bed linens, scarves and other things. So then this project did grow, and now since 2.5 years I'm now working for the Basel-based consultancy ECOS, and we now try to bring it further, the cotton story, the textile story from West Africa. At the beginning, we have to talk about the cotton story, because 97% of the cotton grown in West Africa is exported. That's a pity, right, but this is the reality. So we have to look for partners that get engaged to source organic fair trade cotton from the region. But it's clear that it's also a target to bring the local added value to the countries. And therefore, I'm very happy that now at the CICOT conference in 2 weeks' time, that there will be the opening of the very first ginning mill that is dedicated mainly to organic cotton. That's a it's a very first, but a very important step forward to a fruitful textile industry.
So let's talk about this then, because I'm just quoting what it says about this CICOT conference. And before I go in, I So I'm Jacqueline Shaw, guys. I'm your African fashion business coach, and I'm here to help creative entrepreneurs. If that's you, check out some of the links below this video. Because I'm going to be able to help you to create and build a fashion business made in Africa. But the most important key part of that whole process is your raw materials, is the materials that you're using to make your fashion products or garments, shoes, accessories, whatever it may be, or even the homeware products. Understanding that side is so important. That's why having people like Tobias, the work he's doing with ECOS, the work he's done with Helvetas, and all of these organizations is so important. So this conference is happening. I had the opportunity to go to it 2 years ago, before this January was open, which we'll talk about. But it says the focus of it is organic and fair trade cotton. And the conference is looking to identify opportunities for growth and transformation in the organic and fair trade sector in West Africa. And it's doing that by promoting collaborations and upgrading activities. I love this as a statement. I love it as a focus. It's sustainable, ethical, is focused on organic and fair trade, number one. So that's very specific in a marketplace where there's a lot of, conventional cotton is still there. It's still being grown. It's still being sold. But, and there's a lot of new developments in cotton, but to still focus on organic and fair trade for me is very key. And looking at ways to grow that and transform that cotton from West Africa specifically. So this CICOT, tell people about the actual event. What would they expect to happen at this conference particularly? Who would they meet? What kind of talks are going to be happening?
Okay, so the CICOT, as you said, it's the second time that it will take place, and the main focus of the CICOT, so the organizer is the government of Burkina Faso. So they want to promote cotton and added value textile industry from Burkina Faso. But they are open also to find partners of the regions. And so there is not a main focus of this conference lying on organic fair trade cotton. Organic fair trade cotton is still a niche, but it is an important niche. And the government of Burkina Faso gave a clear commitment that they are willing to invest into organic fair trade cotton market. Through this ginning mill also they can now really show that they are willing to do this. And so the 2 days in Koudougou, they are focusing on all aspects of cotton growing, quality, market outreach, and also on the local textile industry. My vision is that they should not just concentrate on cheap textile production to sell cheap labor and low costs, because I think this will not be very successful, and they will not be so successful in the competition with East Africa or Asia, or if so, they would make the same mistake like they have been done in Cambodia and Bangladesh and so on. So I think there is a big potential for really a sustainable textile industry, meaning from looking at social and ecological standards from the ground, from the farmers, cotton farmers, through spinning mill, weaving, and confectioning. So if you're looking at power, which is needed, so to looking at solar power, and yes, to looking at working condition for the workers, and looking at fair prices for the workers and for the farmers, for the cotton, and also looking at SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals,
yes,
climate change issues, yes, argue about close to market, close to America, Northern America, and especially very close to Europe, And so I think there are quite big arguments for a sustainable textile production.
Okay, so one of the major things happening in these few days for the CICOT conference is the opening of that organic ginnery. Can you explain, for those who may not even know what a ginnery is, just in brief, what it is and why this is so important and such a big thing, and why I'm quite excited about it, but why it's such a big thing, especially somewhere like Burkina Faso?
So the ginning is the only thing that is always done very, very close to the farm. That's why this value added is done in Burkina Faso. Why is this the case? Because in the ginning, you take out the seed of the cotton, mainly, and so that you only have the fibers afterwards. And there you lose 60% of white. And that's why for afterwards the transport, it doesn't make sense to export it and gin it abroad. So that's why this is very close to the field. Another reason is that you, through getting back the seed, you can reuse it for the farmers, especially in organic farming. This is very important, that you have this circle, not like GMO cotton, genetic modified cotton, where you have to use, you buy every year new cotton from the seed producers. And so this is very important. And then now, why it is important also to have that this ginnery will be mainly used for organic cotton. And this is very important. This is important to have a new, the best quality, the newest machines for ginning. So to also have a good quality of the fiber available. And in the past, the farmers, they all, and also the cottons, the farmer groups, they have ginned the organic cotton at the end of the season, because if you want to have a certified organic cotton sold, then you have to clean the whole ginning mill, and this is quite dusty. You have seen the ginning mill also, not in work, but you can imagine that it's quite dusty stuff. So it's quite much work to clean the gin. So this is done at the end of the season, meaning the ginning starts in January, maybe even in December, and then goes until April. So in the past, organic cotton was only ginned in April, so it has been able to sell it in May, June, and the farmers had to wait for the payment of the cotton.
That's a major issue.
There were danger that the farmers, they said, okay, no, we need the cash for the school, for the kids, for food or whatever. So they sold it as conventional. And now, if it is a special gin, it can be ginned just from the beginning after the harvest, and so the money flow can go much quicker to the farmers.
Wow, that is enlightening, because for those who don't know, if you're watching this, they're cleaning it because to be able to call it organic and to be able to sell it as organic, they could have to avoid contamination, and that's where there's remnants of the conventional cotton, and then you put in the organic together. You don't want to get it contaminated, so they needed to clean it, like Tobias is saying. But then the farmers, you're saying, they needed the money, so they couldn't be waiting until the end of the ginning season with the conventional to be able to get the organic in there. They'll be losing money. So that's just amazing that now that there is this new ginnery, which you're saying it's going to now allow them to be able to do that all year round, basically, right?
Also, it will still be from the end of the season, so from December mainly until April, May.
Yes.
They will be able to gin it. And the capacity is huge, so the potential is huge for this market. The capacity of the ginning mill is 15,000 tons of fiber, Actually, the organic cotton production is 600 tons of fiber. So but there are within the organic cotton coalition West Africa, where there are producer groups involved from Mali, Burkina Faso, Benin, and Senegal.
Yeah.
We put the target to reach 5% local market share within until 2030. And so we are planning, if this goes with this plan, then the full capacity of the gin will be used for organic cotton could be around 2026, 2027. And with this, we could reach really thousands of cotton farmers. They get the fair price, which is about the fair trade price defined by Fair Trade International is about actually 15% higher than conventional price. And in addition to this, the farmer groups get the fair trade premium that they can use for sanitation things, for whatever water supply or whatever they need
to support
the community.
Support them, yeah.
They decide democratically how they use these premiums.
So it's not just supporting those in Burkina Faso, you're saying neighboring countries as well, farmers from neighboring countries.
So this gin will mainly focus on Burkina Faso.
Okay. Well.
In the past, the inter-country trade was not so big. We also have the idea with this coalition to bring together the farmer groups to get South-South exchange within those, and to plan together the sales, the marketing, also the training programs for the farmers, how to have organic fertilizers, how to increase the yields, how to treat the plants, how to work with rotation crops, and all these kind of questions, they are very important. And so we have built this coalition, and we will also meet the actors of the coalition from these 4 countries. We will also meet now in 2 weeks' time around the CICOT and discuss there at the organic roundtable and at a special meeting about how we can really bring forward the organic cotton and textile industry in West Africa.
And is that the C4 countries that you're mentioning, the Chad, Mali, Burkina?
No, the 4 countries are Burkina Faso, Mali, Benin, and Senegal.
Okay.
And then there is this initiative of the 4 Cs, Cotton 4, at the WTO. Yes. There is Chad, Mali, Benin, and Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Burkina Faso, yes. And they will also have a meeting, strategic meeting around before the CICOT. But this is more on a policy country level.
Yeah,
but it's very important that to integrate this organic cotton program in the country strategies, and we are very happy that this is now done in Burkina Faso. And I just heard yesterday that in Senegal they are planning now that there are whole regions converting to organic cotton, and then also that the ginneries in these regions then also will be dedicated only for organic cotton. And there are similar initiatives in Mali also, and so I really think that the potential is high in the region. So in Burkina Faso, they also work with the local spinnery. This is Filsa. And they are also producing organic cotton yarn.
Yeah.
For the local fashion industry, there are 2 main brands working very strongly with organic cotton locally. This is Xomba, you know, Heather Chaplet also.
That's right.
Who is based in Bobo Dioulasso, and then it's François Premier.
Yeah.
Burkinabe, based in Koudougou, and he's just building up his semi-industrial production in Koudougou, and I'm looking forward to visit him in 2 weeks' time and to see what's going on there.
Okay, you'll have to share with me after, because I won't make the event unless something changes at last minute. But that's yeah, for a country where most people probably don't even consider it, because they have all the big names, you know, the Nigeria, the Ghana, the Kenya, the South Africa, these countries that everybody looks at, where, you know, there's some of these francophone countries in Africa, the French-speaking ones, that many of us may not consider, except for Senegal so much, and Burkina Faso. There's things happening, and that's why I thought it was so key to share this, to show people what else is going on. But for you, somebody who's a specialist and expert within cotton industry, especially in Africa's cotton industry, what would you like to see for the future? What's your personal desire? How would you like it to look? Or maybe you've got some insights to what is happening.
So for me, the vision is that that there will be in 2030, that there will be a competitive, sustainable textile fashion industry existing in West Africa. This is special my focus, but also in East Africa, Northern Africa, and Southern Africa. I really believe that the future is there, and that there is a huge potential in such a sustainable textile industry, fashion industry, but not only fashion, but also basic and other textile products, mainly produced with cotton, because this is cotton is available in the regions, the subtropic regions, Sub-Saharan, and also in East Africa. There is a huge potential also with the climate change, that still cotton can be grown successfully, and then it should be grown sustainably, and it should be converted to yarn, to fabrics, and to finished products also in Africa. And then I think also there should be the focus on Europe and on Asia and on American market, to really show that it's possible to produce high quality, fashionable products in Africa. But we should also look on the African continent itself, that they should look that they use their own textiles, their own products, and that this is a huge market, also market potential there.
Exactly.
And then I really think that that this could be a big success for whole Africa.
Amazing, amazing. So the event is at the end of this month. Those who are planning to go or would like to go, I'll put some details below this video. So if somebody wants to get involved, what kind of areas or opportunities are there for somebody who may want to get involved in the cotton industry, or just a supply chain, especially for value addition? That you mentioned a lot of times, that's something close to my heart. What opportunities are there for that person that you can recommend? So
if someone wants to get involved, there are always possibilities to get involved. Maybe it's not possible to just source exactly the product that you imagine, right, in the sustainable quality you imagine, right, in 5 weeks' time. But there are big possibilities, and for example, I just exchanging about how to, with brands, retailers, spinners, how to get involved in organic fair trade African cotton, or in conventional African cotton. So there I'm focusing on spinners that are close to textile industry. And then we have to see on local textile production, and looking at spinning mills, then looking at weaving and confectioning. And for example, the German government just made a feasibility study, or let make a feasibility study on potential on textile industry in Burkina Faso. And this will also be presented by the company, by the Swiss company Gerzi at the SIGOT. And it shows that there is quite a big potential. There are also challenges, but yes, I really think that it is possible. And whoever is interested can contact me, or I think also you are a person that knows what's going on, what is possible, and we have to work together. And really, we have to find synergies. We have to find synergies even among competitors, because economies of scale is always an issue. So now we have identified, for example, a spinning mill in Greece that will use this organic fair trade cotton from Burkina Faso. We are working with a traceable tool. We have launched a campaign, a crowd order campaign,
yes.
TraceableTreeshirt.com,
where
we want to show transparency, to show how a t-shirt is produced, starting on the cotton field in Burkina Faso, and then until the delivery of the finished t-shirt next July, hopefully.
Oh, this July?
Wherever. Yes.
July, yeah.
So that we will now in February make the ginning.
Yes.
Then there will be the transport to Greece in March, and then the spinning, weaving and confectioning in April, May and June, and the delivery at the end of June, beginning of July.
Wow. So I'll put the link for that, the details around that as well. And yeah, I know we need to speak a bit further about that afterwards. But thank you so much. The insights, your expertise, the opportunities, the development, all of these things have been highlighted, and it's just showing the opportunity, just what is happening in countries in Africa that many people may not even think or consider. And so that's why it's really important, the work that you're doing, the work that ICOS is doing, and many are doing in Africa. And the most important thing that you said is that the government of Burkina Faso are backing it. And that's most important. Where I'm seeing developments that happen in Africa, you do hear there's a government program behind. It doesn't always be the main thing, but it is important that there is some voice from the government towards that. So if it's like Rwanda or Nigeria or Ghana, we're hearing things, or in Kenya as well, you know, that's quite important, I think. So I'm glad to hear about that, and we see President behind at these events, and I'm guessing he'll be at this one coming up in end of January too. So thank you, Tobias, for your time. Anyone who wants to get in touch, remember the details are down below to check out the program, to get in touch or to attend. I'm Jacqueline Shaw, and I'd like to say, if you want any more details, I've got some extra videos below that may be important for you if you want to get started in Africa, you want to learn more about the supply chain, if you wanted me to help you to build that fashion business in Africa with all the amazing contacts I have, as you can see, then do get in touch, do book a call in my calendar, and do make sure to subscribe to this video and share your comments as well, because it's really important to hear from you and to have you on board of this journey. So thank you again, Tobias, and wish you all the best over the coming weeks and the months with the Traceable Tees.
Thank you very much. Good luck also.
Thank you.